live death every day.
Art Thibert's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9 by 12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist, Art Thibert. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art Thibert's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually, or together as a bundle. Art Thibert's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now, on Indiegogo.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SHANTH ENJETI Art. My name is SHANTH ENJETI, coming to you live and slightly undead from the heart of Lovecraft Country and the birthplace of American religious liberty. Guys, it's spooky season. So, I love Halloween. It is one of my absolute favorite holidays in the world. It might be my favorite. It's a tough call. It's always between Christmas and Halloween, obviously, but I think it's the one that I would have to say, because I think most people, do enjoy the Christmas season. And I have to tell you guys this, it has been a crazy week, but I could not be more excited. So for those of you guys, excuse me, for those of you guys who don't know and missed our last stream, uh, my birthday is on September 2nd. So it was on Labor Day this year, which is great. And the thing that's so funny about it is that, how do I word this? I don't think about my own birthday as much as I get excited for other people's birthdays, because I struggle to understand what is what is it like. People ask me things like, well, what do you want for your birthday? My wife, my long-suffering wife, Sean, what do you want for your birthday? She doesn't have that voice. I want to be clear. She goes, what do you want for your birthday? And I go, um, well, good God, my cup runneth over, and I don't know. I would like to have my birthday with you. And she's like, well, that's a terrible answer. She's like, what was it? You guys have seen, my God, Full Metal Jacket? My wife was a little bit like that. That doesn't help me. Work on it. And I'm like, all right, I got to figure something out. And so I sat around, and I'd never given my birthday thought in terms of what I would like to do on my birthday. That's just bizarre to me in terms of like I'm not good at it, you know. Uh that makes sense. I'm not particularly good at it. And I finally sat there and I went, well, what do I find fun and what would I like to do, you know, if I had my druthers, if I could do anything I wanted and I wasn't thinking about what everybody does. And what I came back with for her was I go, I want to start the Halloween season on my birthday. So I want us to get out the Halloween decorations, start putting stuff around, and I want, because she's like, you got to have a cake. And I went, I want to have a cake that's a Halloween themed birthday cake from the grocery store. And she went to the grocery store. She got me a Halloween themed cake and got a Halloween tablecloth and all of that stuff. And it just put me in the best mood. I don't know how else to say it, but it just put me in the best mood because one of the things that was very important to me that I loved when I was growing up in Michigan for a short spell was how excited our neighbors, the Sears, they were our across the street neighbors, whose house I used to hang out at a lot when I was a kid. But their sons, Paul and Dennis, would get and their family would get super into Halloween. Now I know everybody has got somebody on their block who goes nuts for Halloween, right? And they for me personally, they make the whole neighborhood better. And the same with people who go nuts for Christmas. And you see all the Christmas lights and they get super into it. It just gives you this wonderful feeling. And so one of the things we tried to do during during the lockdowns was we really decorated, and people would talk about how not a lot of people were decorating because they were just kind of depressed. And so many people came up to my wife and they were like, wow, that really put me in a good mood. The way you guys, my son, I think, did a lot of the decorating because he loves Halloween. And it was so fun. So, anyway, I'm in the spooky season mood. And now I've got to see, hang on a second, let me move this right here. I've got to see who we've got here. I haven't even said hello to our channel members. First and foremost, we've got Stephen Rockwood Drawing, dropping more links, and Oscar Meyer in the chat. Thank you, my friend. The first, the Alpha, the Omega channel member. It is great to see you. We've got my main man, my can of spam. It's all about money, Mark's music obsession. It is great to see you, Mark, who is now OG. I think we're calling Mark OG officially. That's right. He's here and he's ready to rock. We've got channel member Paulus Arts. Paulus Arts, it's great to see you, my friend. Let's see who else we got. Spaceman here. Hail, Spaceman. It's great to have you here. We've got Katie hanging out spooky season. What are you talking about? I'll tell you what, I'm starting early. We've got channel member, Rockstar, art patron, my man Lloyd Burton is in the house. It's great to see you, Lloyd. Let's see who else I've got. Oh my gosh, Skeleton Core Comics channel member. It is great to see you, my friend. It's been great getting to know you in the chat. Let me see who else. Of course, OG, General Piggy is in the house. It is great to see you, brother. I hope you're well. Another old school channel member, Cranberry Landers. It's great to see you, my friend. Lurk away, brother. Lurk away. We've got Rasputin in the house. Yard work time in the Northeast Tennessee. My man, I grew up in Southeast Tennessee, and I've been in that neck of the woods aplenty. I bet you there is much yard work. It is great to see you, my friend. Yeah, give it a listen while you work, as they say. I think that was a Disney song. What's up, Phil? I see you in the chat. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday, brother, on my birthday. I do appreciate that. My brother, 30-year friendship. My man, Rocky. On my way to the comic shop, was going to call you to talk, but well, yeah, man, I'll fill you in. Don't you worry. Everybody's good, and it's just insanity, and I'll catch you up on it later, brother. But thank you for checking in, brother. We've got Emo Trash in the house. It is great to see you. We've got Catalyst Vault. It's great to see you, channel member, Catalyst Vault. Hail, Shanth, hail, chat. Hail to you, my friend. Yeah, and Mike likes tacos, channel member. How did I miss Mike? We got to get you a more specific profile pic, Mike. It should be a taco or many tacos. Makes it a little bit easier for me, man. But this is the thing, guys. I am in the mood for love. Well, also, I'm in the mood for Halloween because I live in New England. I live in the heart of Lovecraft country, and a stone's throw from the Lizzie Borden house, and a stone's throw from the most haunted street, as they say in America, Benefit Street. And there's so much stuff to do here. So what a fun time! What a fun time to be creating horror's heroes, and that's what my characters are. It's gothic pulp adventure stories, and it's about creating what I'm now calling the super horror genre, if that makes sense. And That's how I've been thinking about my stuff lately when I sit down to do what I do, because I want to do books that have the aesthetics of gothic horror, but then also have the superhero element or the supernatural hero element. You know what I mean? So that's usually how it comes to. Yeah, it's Halloween in the States. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling and careening towards it all. So if you haven't hit that like, do hit that like, strap in, and let's talk a little bit about what I'm working on. So as a lot of you guys know, Nosfero the Crypt Walker, the Second Chance campaign. Thank you for dropping that link, Stephen Rockwood. Um, is live. We have crossed, and I wanted to do a stream about it, but there was some family stuff that kind of came up. And then of course the birthday with the family, which was important. Uh, but uh, but I wanted to say thank you to Mandy, thank you to Shane, thank you to Dale, who streamed with me a couple of days ago. It's all this. It's been a blur, family stuff, kid stuff. It was a bit of a crazy weekend. Um, but thank you guys so much. They got me over 100 backers and over 8K guys. So the campaign is rocking and rolling, and I am incredibly grateful. They're just, I have a fun time. I hang out with people sometimes in this space, and I forget sometimes that they remind me, but I forget sometimes to even just bring up Nosfero, because I'm having such a great time hanging out, talking art. The laughter is so important. Laughter is so important. And if you're like me and you kind of sometimes like just need a good laugh to recharge, that is gold. And so I want to thank those guys not only for, always making me laugh and having a good time, but just also, of course, it was incredible to see the campaign have a big, boost, which is just wonderful. You get to go trick or treating if you want to, Katie. That's how that works. And yes, indeed, we are at Mark's got the number. We're at 8,481 with 113 backers. It's awesome. Yeah, very excited, guys. And I also want to send a congratulations to Shane Davis, who I was on John Malin's stream last night, and Shane got to 100 and over $180,000 last night, and I forget what the rollover number was, whether it was 6,000 or 7,000 back. I can't remember what it was, but it was a major milestone, and it was awesome to be there. Spooky season already. Let me tell you something, Art and Times of Jay Ryan. And you're a fellow artist, you know what I'm talking about, man. Spooky Times is great because, to me, for all of us who like to make artwork and, create monsters, and for me, one of the things I really love um, is the decorating for the holidays more than anything else. And I love haunted houses. I don't typically go to them, but I like to watch how they're built. I don't know, I'm weird that way. But yeah, I love this holiday. So I always look forward to seeing people just creating cool artwork during this time, or sharing fun videos of the fall, and fall leaves, fall colors, and pumpkins, and decorating and walking with their family in sweater weather. I love that whole thing. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I had so much fun with that. I had so much fun. Yeah, Kings was great last night, man. What a show. That was some crazy, or whatever we were doing. I can't even remember. But yeah, it was a blast. We had so much fun. To just, I don't know, man. I love watching people get excited and enthusiastic. So make sure you hit that like. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't backed Nosfero the Crypt Walker yet, please do it. And I will tell you guys who have backed. It has been dawning on me increasingly that my second printings always turn out to be the rarest editions. I think that's a fairly, common thing. But the difference between your average second printing and what you guys are getting here is that this second printing is going to have this piece of artwork that I'm making right now in it. And this is the place where it's going to be available. So it's going to be a completely new piece. And if you haven't seen the sketch for it, this is the sketch for the painting I'm working on. So it's going to be exclusive bonus content in the back, exclusive, painting in the front, because instead of a signatory page, it's going to have a new sort of almost like a book plate painting, but a little bit more fancy. And Oh man, I'm so excited about these books. I've been laying them out, working on them. It's awesome. You know, my son will be a scare actor for Not Scary Farm this year. Lloyd, that's awesome. That is so cool, Lloyd. I had no idea, man. Oh, that's awesome. It's legendary. Talk about a legendary place. Lloyd, if for people who don't know, I mean, and I know it's a lot to type, but could you give folks in the chat just a general idea of like the history of not scary farm, because it is legendary in this country for Halloween. I heard there's a haunted house out there that'll give you serious money if you make it all the way through. I've heard about that. Yeah, I've absolutely heard about that. My goodness, man. Yeah, that stuff is wild. That stuff is wild. So people get really, really into it because we celebrate one of the most important things we do to celebrate that passage of time. Let me zoom in here and get a better lighting scenario. I'm not wild about this at the moment. Oh, I know what's going on. Hang on a second, guys. It's got one of my settings on for when I typically stream. Cool. All right, so I've got this, and then I want to see, what do I have this set on? That's not what I'm looking for. Let's go to Razor Kaio 2. Oh, that's what it is. The yellows were way cranked up. Don't know why that was. Brightness is up. Saturation is where it needs to be. Okay, cool. That should be a little bit better for your viewing experience. And now, let's zoom in a little bit here so you guys can really see where the rubber meets the road. So yeah, I mean, I love that stuff, man. I love that stuff. That stuff puts me in a great, great mood. Yeah, it's because it's very much a it's the word I would use. Sorry guys. It's very much an American institution is the best way I would put it. Here we go. Knott's is the first amusement park with a scare house, 51 years old. Outstanding. Okay, putting this in the background while I go suffer Adobe Illustrator. Oh, it's a great program. Pray for me. We will. Shanth, maybe dumb question. How much does Art Nouveau influence your work? Oh, it's not a dumb question. It's the biggest influence on my work. The biggest influence on my work is Czech artist Alphonse Mucha, who was considered to be the most important artist in the Art Nouveau movement. And he is just the biggest influence because of my love of line, my love of, well, beauty, for starters. And I just think that there's something about the kind of the way in which beauty is created in parts of the world where it gets very, very cold, if that makes sense. Because when the winters are long, it gives you this kind of edge to you as a person, right? So, and then there's this kind of wanting to create artwork that is beautiful and elegant because you're surviving long weekends, or sorry, long nights and shorter days and long periods of cold. And there's a kind of beauty that you see in artwork coming out of those places that speaks to me, that's very different than the artwork that you see that's also breathtaking that comes out of, like, say, the West in America. People like James Bama, and even artists like Thomas Moran, who did these beautiful Yellowstone and Yosemite paintings. Just incredible stuff. So yeah, love it. I love Art Nouveau, and it's everything. It's, to me, it's I've been looking at Alphonse Mucha's book that got a beautifully reproduced edition of it now. That's called Le Peter, and it is the Our Father illustrated by Alphonse Mucha. And looking at the what would you call it? Looking at the ornate letters pages that are in that book really kind of just inspires me. I just think I want every book I produce to be a sort of a stunning addition to people's book collection. That's my goal, and something that's positive and hopeful and beautiful and fun, adventurous, And that's what I love to do. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy cow, we've got a super chat here from Phil. Let me see what he has to say. Super chat $10 from Zaid Comics. Finally framed your mask paint. Oh, awesome. You got to send me a photo. I got to send you a picture. No sooner no sooner said than done. I got to send you a picture of it next to my Steranko prints. Oh, honored. Also, oh shoot. Dang it. It disappeared. Where was I? I need to work on my glasses are falling. Also, speaking of spooky season, we just launched our It's just reading. I can do this. I can get there, folks. Launched our slasher. Let's try that one more time, kids. Also, speaking of spooky season, we just launched our slasher book, Psycho Slumber. Hope y'all check it out. Drop the link in the chat. And what is wrong with you, Phil? You know I have reading difficulties, and you've chosen to write. Also, speaking of spooky season, we just launched our slasher book, Psycho Slumber. What the? Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys. Oh my god. I was up too late last night, and that just got me. Mm, And you know what I'm gonna do while I'm here is I'm going to take care of this thing. These are outstanding, but they will prevent many headaches. So, I lean over my artwork when I work, and sometimes I forget to put on these little rubber stoppers they make that keep your glasses from sliding down when you're leaning over your artwork. And I forget to put those on sometimes, and um it causes my eyes to go out, or the glasses to go out of focus imperceptibly, and then suddenly I get this a raging for my glasswares, you know what I'm talking about, but I get a terrible headache, and I'm like, what am I doing? Because I'm just straining to look. Yeah, exactly. No thank you, I'm good. Does Phil have an opinion on Gambit? Well, there you go. I don't know. That's a good question. Michael Deitch, channel member, Rockstar. It's great to see you, my friend. Yes, reading, dot, dot, dot. You know what I'm talking about, Lloyd Burton. Yes, exactly. What's a 200-word essay? Well, it's the cascading of the words, people. Tammy D in the house. I had a wonderful birthday. Thank you so much for your generous super chat, by the way, Tammy. I hope you are well. It was great. And welcome Leg Kick One. It was great, and I have to say this. I was just saying to the chat. So Halloween is one of my all-time favorite holidays. It's tough because when the little people of Stonehenge go off into the world, you there's something special about Christmas with little people around and Halloween with the little people of Stonehenge around, right? But when I really think about it, the thing that makes it all fun and what you start to really enjoy as an adult is really getting into making it fun for the people who pass by the house and for all the kids in the neighborhood and all those folks. And one of my wife's former high school students, who is now a it's kind of scary, right? Now has kids that my wife might be teaching in the next couple of years. Um, he met a wonderful gal. He lives in our neighborhood. Met a wonderful gal, and became a stepfather, and then became a father, and had a new baby with his wife. And that man, when he became a dad, holy cow, did he go Halloween crazy on his house? I think that there's a lot of us out there who are just waiting for someone to give us the green light to go nuts for the holidays, and then we're just rocking. That house looks like an amusement park in the front yard. He's got so many decorations. I do not know how long it takes, but my wife was helping him when he was a high school senior to design a business card and a logo for his landscaping company. And he's been running that landscaping company now for, my gosh, I don't even know, maybe 20 years or so. So it's great. You gotta love that stuff. You gotta love this stuff. They do. They absolutely do. I think that goes without saying. Um, That's right. 22 here, only 17 likes. Hit that like. That's right, guys. Yeah, come on now. Yeah, it was a great birthday. Thank you. And welcome. Leg Kick One, it's always great to see you, my friend. How are you? And Timmy Mello, my brother. It's great to see you. Hail, chat, and hail to the. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me. Timmy, you know that I'm barely literate, right? Like, I think we've been over that. My reading speed is appalling. Uh, and it's just, oh my gosh. It takes me forever sometimes to be able to just kind of wrap my mind around something. It's strange though, because I really pay attention to language and writers who have a mastery of it, and I don't know where that love of that comes from, but I think it's just something I would say to anybody. Just because you struggle in your youth or at any other time, to be honest, with reading, sometimes I think it becomes such a negative experience that people deny themselves an enjoyment of fiction and finding books they would like to listen to on audiobooks, if you know what I mean. And it makes me, I always want to tell people that I really started enjoying reading more when I got out of school because there wasn't that pressure. And I could sit back and just listen to audiobooks and then buy books and read for pleasure without any pressure of somebody saying there's going to be a book report. You know what I'm talking about. It's weird the things you come to, later in life that seem so obvious at the time. Antoine Dennison, we got the professor in the house. It is great to see you, my friend. And, I thought about that when I was both listening to the audiobook and then reading the book of Solomon Kane recently. And, people were shocked. They were like, how have you not read this book yet? And I thought, you know, yeah, I haven't read it. And it was like waiting for me, this outstanding experience. Yeah, Tammy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Same here, Shanth. Not sure. I'd like an audiobook. Yeah, audiobooks, I've learned, are definitely not everybody's cup of tea. And I totally get it. My wife cannot deal with audiobooks because, she's like, I can read faster than an audiobook. And I like to kind of hear my own take on the characters. And she used to talk to me about this, that, and this is one of the things that affects my reading that doesn't affect my writing aspect as much, is that, so because I don't have an internal monologue where I hear my own voice in my head, one of the things I've found is that when I am reading, it's a struggle to, interpret the language and work with it inside of my head. A lot of people hear some version of, I think, an inner voice or something, although I can't speak to it because it's not my experience. I haven't had that experience, but it's a rather fascinating thing to me. But she says audiobooks just take away what she likes about reading, and that I always found that fascinating. And what's up, Emo saying hello? Oh, you're reading Lovecraft's fiction. Yeah, it is fantastic. Antoine Dennison says, I've listened to more audiobooks in the last couple of years than at any other time in my life. Walking Max, oh, sorry, yes, that's right. Walking Max, it's the perfect distraction. Yes. It really is cool to do things when you have off time that you really enjoy doing, and spending time with people in places that you really enjoy spending time in. And I think that, for me as an artist, doing these streams, it's really fun for me because I get to spend time with you guys, and we get to hang out here, and I get to talk about the comics, I get to promote my work and all of the stuff that's so essential to do. Um and it but it's just it creates a very nice space, and I think you see that a lot of times where it almost becomes like cheers in the chat, right? Everybody comes in, says hello, and it's wonderful. Let me take a look at this here. Oh, let me move my camera a little bit there. There we go. Sorry if I gave anybody whiplash there. Stephen King used to be my go-to. I need to sell my collection of his books. Yeah, Stephen King is my wife's go-to, and like that guy puts out a ton of books. My God. If you spend a lot of time in your car, an audiobook can be fine, but I prefer to read at my own quirky pace. I completely understand. I completely understand that. Um, because I've taught. It's funny. I had always struggled to, read fiction in particular. I could read very dense medical research paper on like not neuropsychology, neurobiology. It's the strangest thing, or complicated um, documents or things like that. I loved history, but fiction, for whatever reason, was always a wall for me. And that having been said, as we love to say in New England, all of my closest friends read copious amounts of fiction for pleasure. It's one of those things I really enjoy about other people when they do that. And I like hearing them talk about what the experience is like of just getting lost in a book, because I get lost in paintings, I get lost in writing, but I would very much I envy that. I envy that ability. It's pretty amazing. I get lost in comic books too, for that matter. It's fascinating. Let me see what we've got here. Uh, okay, let me see glasses. Michael, certain material I need. I need to read myself, and having another person read it is a distraction. But self-help, sci-fi, fantasy, etc. That's all easy to take in as a voice narrative. Absolutely. Sending out vibes to John. I hope John is well. Ow, my neck. Oh gosh, I hope you're all right. Anyone else buffering? Oh gosh, sorry guys if it is buffering. Um, do you ever do more traditional comic art, or do you always work with paint? It depends. I used to do only traditional, like, pen and ink comic book artwork, and then I started working with the paint. But right now, just this morning, I'm writing and working on wrapping up my comic book Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity, which is the title that it's weird. I did this book in 2002, and then 2003, and then many things happened in between. And when I came back to do comics and I did Nosfero, people go, well, have you ever thought about finishing that book? And so I've been finishing that book and painting it in digital, but it was done in pen and ink. And yeah, I don't do it now as much, but there's who's to say? I I was talking to one of my brothers, Arvin, who was I've also known for 30 years. He has a channel called Comics Rant, and if anybody can get the link and put it in there. And what is up, Mechanoid? How are you doing, my friend? And again, hail past Master Dan. He let's see, it's buffering. I don't know why it's doing that. Shoot, I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it gets better. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out why that is. Let me check some stuff real quick and see if I can fix that a little bit here, and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, he and I were talking, and I go, so many of the most incredible things that have ever, come into my life and been amazing blessings have been things that I didn't plan. And as a result of that, I have this particular, you know, um, feeling these days that you have to work, you have to move in a direction. I know you guys all know this. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but you have to move in a direction. But at the same time, there's a happenstance. There's this incredible miracle of a happenstance that seems to, I don't know, that seems to be that serendipity that you've got to be open to. And I've been trying to be more open to that these days. And so who knows where my work is going to go in the future? I guess, to make a long story short, even though it's too late, um, I never know where it's going, because if you told me when I was a senior in college that I was going to be a painted artist working in color, I'd have told you were crazy, because that's how long I spent of my life not painting. Isn't that wild? It's amazing. It's amazing how it all changes, and that's why I like being. The cool thing about YouTube is that you get to be around people who have the full range of life experience, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Life is what happens when you're making other plans, so to speak. So if I could answer that question in one particular way. Let's see if that does any better for us. But if I could answer that question in one particular way, it's that uh, yeah, if a couple of years ago I wasn't painting, and I never thought I would paint ever as an artist. I mean, to me, painting, it's funny. Painting was like you had to wear a beret to paint. Like I couldn't imagine, like, what am I doing, you know? It's like I'm not one of those people who goes to the store and knows what tubes of paint to buy. And I mean, my goodness. I just did not grow up like that. I wanted to be Todd McFarlane, and I was looking at his work. And so a lot of my early work, whether it's Spring Ball, which you can find those first two issues on eBay still to this day, and then the Starship Trooper stuff I did a few comics of, or the Flash Gordon 75th anniversary. That stuff is all in a very Todd McFarlane style that I was known for at the time. And yeah, painting just, how do I put it? Painting had other plans. God had other plans, and that's the wildness of all of this stuff. Completely serendipitous, amazing, and I'm always looking forward to the next adventure and the new folks I meet. You know, Michael Deitch says, I always recommend Green's book Mastery about many career stops, yes, and starts that come together in unexpected ways later in life. Michael, I know we've had this conversation before in chats, and you're 100% right. Yep, painting is fun because it's so easy, says Stephen Rockwood. Yep, newsy. Yeah, now I know look like a newsy. You know what I think of? I've loved these hats ever since, high school, and they've come in style. And they, do this and they do that, like all those different kind of things. Things come in and out of fashion. And but when I saw it on Jimmy Cagney in The Public Enemy, and I'm a massive James Cagney fan, I love these hats. But I always think of that line from the Maltese Falcon, which I have that statue over there, when Humphrey Bogart takes the guns off of the young hitman, and he gives them to his boss, and he goes, a crippled newsie took him from him, and I got him back. It's crazy, man. Antoine, same here, Shanth. I enjoyed painting well enough as a kid, but I identified much more with commercial draftsmen, 100%, and illustrators more so than artists. Isn't that funny? Isn't it? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's yeah, I mean, it is a wild adventure, and the most important thing, at least to me, is just to show up for it, to show up for it, and to not miss opportunities. I think that maybe that's a big thing in this space when you're backing books, and when, and I speak for myself, like when I'm backing books, um it's kind of neat because I think that there are all these wild opportunities to get books and new projects, and just to sort of see what if and what might happen. And sometimes it's, you don't know exactly in the moment why you're doing a thing. It just becomes, it reveals itself over time. And YouTubing, my God, YouTubing was that. I mean, I was talking to somebody about it the other day. My brother-in-law was actually in the most recent pizza live stream. And afterwards he texted me, because he didn't do that type of thing typically. And he was like, "Wow, dude, that's amazing." And I said, "It is completely, like, I've been on YouTube now for 5 years, and it still feels very new to me. It still feels incredibly new to me to do this stuff, and I'm sure for all of you guys, live streams were not something I was watching 20 years ago, for obvious reasons. So it's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. Oh, look, it's my brother. Sold another Shanth Enjeti puzzle the other day. Dude, let me tell you something. Can we talk? It's just the two of us, Michael. Can we talk? Can we talk here? That, I've already put that puzzle together once. The thought of other people putting that painting together for pleasure bends my brain. Because that painting was the most insane puzzle I have ever I've ever had to solve. Ferris Comics, it's great to see you. Hello, Shot. I just received my Lucent, the Lucent order. It's cool to have a copy of your painting that I watched you paint so many streams. Oh, Ferris Comics, I am so glad to hear that. And yeah, Central Indiana here, rock and roll. Yeah, man. It's and Hail Comicsgate says Rock Crin. Hail to you, channel member Rock Crin and channel member Ferris Comics. It's great to have you guys here. That painting, how do I word it? Mike knows, and I've talked about it a ton. When I, but I'm gonna try one more time and see if I can make sense of it. I never can really. Doing paintings for your peers, for your friends, for your artist brothers, or in some cases, I've even had that opportunity with mentors and things like that. When you know people and you work a certain way and you spend time with their stories and with their ideas, you you kind of go into this place where it's not just um knocking out a composition, or just saying, okay, well, this composition always works. I'll use this. You're trying to find something. And the coolest thing about that painting for me is um not only can you watch me work on it on stream. One of the shows, the art shows I used to do with Mrs. Enjetti that I want us to do again at some point, um, you watch me right before the show started. I had no idea what I wanted to paint, and I suddenly had an idea for the Lucent, and Mike came to the stream right as I was doing it. Like, it was just, and I'm like, you just watched a painting be born, like, it was so weird and amazing. Oh, we got a super chat from Antoine Dennison, super chat, saying, oh shoot, let me look. What software do you use when to live stream? I use Ecamm. I use Ecamm. I swear by Ecamm. My own tech issues aside, and that's what Rocky is using as well. But it was the first thing I started using, and when he got on stream, he looked at a bunch of different stuff, and he settled on Ecamm as well. The reason why is because Ecamm allows you to do these art streams in the best of times as at 1080p. So a lot of times I look at streams where people are making artwork or talking about artwork, and it's StreamYard 720 at best resolution. Well, Ecamm goes directly from your computer to YouTube. So it doesn't go to StreamYard, then to YouTube, then to this, then to that. And as a result, you not only get a 1080p recording of your stream on your computer, but you also get something with higher resolution. So you can go on any stream that you typically see that StreamYard, like a typical live stream, and you'll see that the resolution of everybody on the stream, but in particular when they show artwork, it's very hit or miss. Sometimes it's almost illegible. And so I've been started looking at different streamers lately and realized that yeah, I want to get better at doing certain aspects of Ecamm, but there's no other way for someone whose work is largely sharing movies with you guys and us doing those streams so you can see it clearly, and then doing live painting streams, which is most of what I do. It's so important. But I just realized something. I've gotten some super chats today, and this is craziness. What the heck? Guys, you guys got to keep on top of me. I got a super chat from Phil from Zaid Comics. I didn't play cheerleaders, and I just got another super chat from Antoine. So first, let me take care of Phil. Here you go, guys. My apologies.
Charge!
I mean, outstanding. And then here's one for my man Antoine Dennison.
Charge!
I'm just saying mistakes were made. Quality is slipping. And I apologize on behalf of the hotel. My God, I am so sorry. But yes, hail Mo Biggs. It is great to see you. Let me see here. I remember Jimi Hendrix saying, oh gosh, sorry, arthritis. Oh, that's so much better. I remember Jimi Hendrix saying he experienced a river of creativity opening up to him. He just let himself, that's 100% right. He carried it on, himself be carried on it when it happened. Yes, indeed. It is, it's a very wild and fun, and again, welcome Mo Biggs. You are the human super chat. You are. Um, yeah, oh, look at that. I love that. Oh, isn't it great? That's the stuff I love about Comicsgate. That's the stuff I love about being here is that we it's a very natural space, and funny enough, much like that river, when I think about Nosfero, for me, it's when I do a campaign, I'm out there, I'm going to promote it, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to also be painting, I'm going to be sharing that process, I'm going to be doing all the different stuff that we do. But the most important opportunity that I have right now is to put that stuff out there so that someone might have the chance of stumbling upon it. And you guys have been great at getting the word out and saying, "Hey guys, check it out. The second chance opportunity. Here's the art edition." I mean, it's so fun. And I was talking about the story with one of my comic book brothers from college, Arvin. Him and Rock were both groomsmen at my wedding, and I was telling him the story for Nosfero, Death Will Die, and I was telling him the story for um, Spring Ball, and like because he knew the comic when it first came out, and I said, so I figured out what I want the story to be about, very in line with what it was, but it's just me at this age. It's a little bit more of a serious story, and or not. Here's the weird thing. Okay, superheroes, even for young audiences, they sometimes have to tackle very serious issues, human issues, but there's ways that I wanted to do it to where it was just edgy enough. But one of the strangest things I've done going back to the book is when I did it in 2002 or 3, there was swearing in it. It wasn't over the top swearing, and without making the book any less intense, like the situations are still intense, very like reasonably. Um, I went in and I felt like the language just doesn't work for me. This like in this instance, it's a superhero book. I don't really think there's that much language in Nosfero, if any at all. But that's one of the weirdest things about me because as people know who've watched me stream, it's not that I have an issue with swearing to be sure, but it's a very strange thing when I go to write. I don't know. I've heard some comedians talk about it, but it just sort of felt like in certain instances it was getting in the way, and it wasn't more intense. It wasn't scarier, and I don't know how to describe it. It's very strange. Let me see here. Yeah, can't wait until my Lucent package arrives. It's been stuck in LA for 3 days. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Yeah, it'll get to you. I'm still doing the Uber thing. Hopefully, not much longer. Very cool, Antoine. And again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here. Amoral Fat 40 ounce. I hope everyone is doing good. Sorry, that just cracked me up. I have a T-shirt that's and the link to my T Public stores in there. That is a satire of the Crazy Horse 40-ounce malt liquor, and it's crazy spelt with a K, so it's like crazy cat, but it's a horse. Anyway, it's the most inside joke that only I would get that I can think of. It's ridiculous. Or actually, I take that back. Ever since I've been here in this space, I've found the people who get my inside jokes and things like that. So God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Hit the like if you haven't yet. I am painting away for a painting that's going to be exclusive to Nosfero, the Crypt Walker, the second edition book, also called the Oxidized Edition, because I like to give everything a little bit of a fun name. So if you like this painting, and if you have not backed Nosfero yet, and you want to have a copy of the book with different bonus features, there's both the Artist Edition, which will be only the artwork with no text on it, and that will have different bonus features than the first printing. There's the second edition, which will have the words, is $25, and fully painted 8.5 by 11 heavy stock paper. It is an art book and beautifully done by an American printer that specializes in reproducing paintings and collections of painted books. That's why the book is what it is. It's not a cheap printing process by any stretch to make these books, and it's important to me that you guys get the colors that are in these paintings, and in a book that you can read and reread, that isn't going to suffer for your enjoyment of the artwork. But both of those are available. Excuse me, and the link is in the description. Yeah, nice job with those likes, guys. You guys are crushing it. Let's see here. Let me adjust my glasses. Thanks, Stephen Rockwood Drawing. I agree. The hardcovers make all those details so worth it. Michael, you know what I'm talking about. We talk about this with Bond Dessinée. To me, detailed work is it. Especially, I mean, does anybody else wear glasses up in this place? I know some of you are on your way. to wearing glasses. But for those of you who haven't had the pleasure yet, and from those of us who do wear glasses, there's certain things, like when I look at a book like my second art book, Rigor Mortrex, which is available at the highest tier on the campaign because there's only 10 copies of it left. But when I look at things like this, the crazy amount of detail that I put into stuff, you can't possibly capture that and see half that detail. It's already reduced from the painting, but you can't possibly see some of this stuff if you don't have a certain amount of scale and color reproduction. Do you know what I'm saying? It's such an important thing. So yeah, every book you get, Nosfero is just a beautiful book with a really, I love the story. I love the story of Nosfero so much. It captured the vibe I wanted in that book. It's about hope, it's about perseverance, it's about fellowship, it's about friendship, it's about romance, it's about monsters, it's about Lovecraft. That's what I live for, guys. That's what I truly live for. Let me see here. I'm missing tons of stuff. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing good. Oh, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hey, I'm still doing the Uber thing. Cool, I got that to fill. The LAX workers are apparently huge fans of the Lucent. That's right. Many of them stole it. There's the Nosfero the Crypt Walker tees and all of the other crazy shirts I make. I did the same thing. The worst you get in the Lucent is yes, exactly. Yeah, that was one of the words I had in Spring Ball, and I was like, nah, get the same thing done with a different word. For me, in this case, you'll get why. But it was yeah, and check out Art T-Bear's Oodles and Doodles and other stuff too. Great dude. Let me see her. I don't mind vulgarity as long as you've got it contextually relevant to the story and characters. I get irritated when when it seems to me that it's an attempt by the creator to be edgy. That's exactly how I feel. In many cases, you don't really need to swear to narrate a scene, but rather it's all about the execution of the feel that appeals to the emotion of which the reader can pick up on from the characters in focus. Yes, there's a moment in Solomon Kane where Solomon Kane says to this pirate leader, who's a real, piece of work, as we say, and he says something to the effect of swine, calls him a swine, and it was like, whoa, because in the context it had excuse me, I am so sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. In the context of the story, it just had a lot more gravity to it. So when I'm in Nosfero, some heavy stuff goes down, man. Some very, very heavy stuff goes down. And it's not, the emphasis is not for it to be grotesque, and nor does it strive to be, but the aspect of it is that people, people have so many things that they work to overcome. They go through so many difficult experiences, many of which they don't even get a lot of chances and don't even want to share them with people. But they're kind of these quiet soldiers in doing what's right who have overcome a lot. And as somebody who really connects with that experience and that those choices one makes to try to make things better, the stories I write have intense things in them, but they are always fueled by a belief in good and heroism. I refuse to give up painting beautiful women, handsome, like strong, powerful men, creepy monsters, like and the forces of evil, but I want to have the forces of good have their due given as well. And John, it is great to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my god, I'm so far behind. Let me see here. Past Master Dan's cracking up. I have the pleasure of wearing glasses. You know what I'm talking about. What's up, Collision Bomb? How are you doing? It is great to see you. I hope you are well. Yeah, you have the pleasure of wearing glasses. You guys know I wear bifocals. There it is. Yep, I'm wearing readers, and I love my glasses because they allow me to see. But it is I need sometimes to look at artwork and type that's a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? And that's important. Right on, man. Yep, it's got to be there. It's a big aspect of it. Word choice is important. Punch without cussing is a skill. It sure is. You see comedians do that too, as well. Yeah, I'm going to bring the term harlot back into fashion. I really think it kind of is, weirdly. Yeah, English is not in the budget today, John. More or less, I figured out my assignments though. There you go. Let me see here. And curves, definitely curves. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Rockwood and Timmy Mello. They know how I roll. Um, oh, brother is buffering to all hell. Yeah, I don't think we have anything on. Um, Let me just double check, but I don't think we have any Wi-Fi going, and I think I powered off the printer. Or at least I think it's off because last time I was there, I powered it off. But so hopefully not too bad. Let me see here. I thought the buffer was just me. Dadgummit, I don't know what's going on. It could just be the way it's set up right now, but hopefully it's not too bad. Hello, Scorpio. Oh god, I can never do this one. Scorpio or Bio. There you go. I hope you're doing well, channel member Jordan Horst. It's great to see you, my friend. I'm just gonna watch a minute behind. Understood. Yeah. It's touching that as a sign of solidarity with Bancroft, Shanth has subscribed to the Australian internet. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, let me see here. Video skipping for anyone else. Okay, hang on one quick second. Let me just see. All right, so the missus is going to take a look. We'll see if we can get this thing sorted. See if the printer's on. Let's not drop the J word in Sean's chat. I don't want to. Yeah, no, right. Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Let me see. Devil Flyer Momentum, it's great to see you. Happy late birthday, Shanth. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. DM me on X. Yes. Oh, I was going to tell you this, and I completely forgot. I tried to do this. Send me a message on the best way to get in touch with me, shanthenjetiart.com. shanthenjetiart.com has a contact that goes straight to me, and it's the easiest way to reach out to me. So let me get that link in the chat. Send me a message there so I can get it, because I've been meaning to say that forever. I don't put it on X because if I put it on X, it's like I get all of this spam sent to me. But yeah, send me a message there, and so I can see it. It's way easier. Let me see here. There we go. So go to the contact section, fill that out, send it to me, and I'll have it immediately. Let me see who else is here. Thank you for reminding me because I've been meaning to tell you that. What's up, Doc Brewski, channel member? It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. And it's great to see you. The Pixels. Yeah, we're doing our best, guys. I don't know what is going on with this thing. There's nothing on. So it could just be that it's misbehaving right now. It could just be that it's misbehaving. Who knows? Who knows anymore? Let me see. I'm way behind on the chat. Yeah, hopefully it'll get a little bit better here. Nah, it's the same one I usually do. Yeah, don't know what it is. Sometimes it can just be. Oh, let me do this actually. I just thought of something that could help. Hang on a second. Let me just double check a few things. File. You gotta love the life, man. It's a lot of silliness. Sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble. Let's try this. There we go. Let's see if this helps at all. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But yeah, guys, I mean, it has been quite the experience. It's been quite the experience to do these comics and tell these stories and make this stuff interesting. Like I write in a way to where um I hear the characters in my head. I almost write like it's a movie. And one of the things about that makes it fun for me at any rate is that when I do that, I get to hear like characters speak and not be the same, they don't all have the same tone. So if I'm writing something in a kind of a faux period piece kind of way, I have a tendency to kind of, put myself into that time and into that space. So that's kind of for me one of the fun things about doing what we do here. Yeah, I suspect Gremlins as well. Let me see here. A demonstration of the blind. Oh my god. Hopefully it's not that bad. Or it gets better soon, my friends. I am so sorry, guys. Craziness. But let's see what we can do. Maybe it'll improve in a little bit. It's weird because I always check. I'm like, is my phone on Wi-Fi? Is this on Wi-Fi? Is that on Wi-Fi? And you never know. It's like It's craziness.
Can you lower the resolution that you're streaming out at?
No, because I want to keep it at 1080 so I can get a record of it at least. But it's a good thought. Yeah, I think it'll probably correct it a little bit.
There's nothing but you on the internet.
I know. What's up with that? That's the Mrs. Everybody say hello to Mrs. Enjetti. Let me see here if this works. There we go. There's the link. Hopefully it came through. And it's under the contact section. Yeah, the router does. I think I'm going to have to reset that router at some point because sometimes that happens. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Let me see here. All right. Now we're getting it. So yeah, I mean, it's for me, I mean, I was been watching a lot of Hammer horror movies. I read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft. I've been reading even more Solomon Kane, and I'm loving Solomon Kane. I know a lot of you guys were mortified that I haven't read Solomon Kane yet, but as I've been reading that book, I've realized, I get an understanding of what the character of Nosfero is and what he's about, because Nosfero is he's not as hardcore as Solomon Kane. Someone said to me, if is Nosfero, in terms of his faith, more fanatical? Is he kind of a fanatic? And I'm like, and it was a great question. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's a little less like that, you know? Let's see here. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let me just double check. Welcome to the next level, says Mo Biggs. Router is probably dusty. You should put it through the dishwasher. I will. It's giving me nostalgia for the Sega days. What's up, Grey Wolf? Thank you for being a channel member. It's great to see you, my friend. I hope you are well. Sean's streaming at 13 DPI. You guys are killing me. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second now. Now I want to see. What. Oh, hold on a dang minute. Let's see if this fixes things a little bit. Ugh. Just had an epiphany of sorts. Let me know if this has improved anything at all now. I think I just figured out what was going on. Sigh. It might not. Shanth Enjeti Art, talk to your ISP host. Oh my gosh, it just jumped. Sorry. About increasing your available bitrate and bandwidth. I've noticed your lag occurs when you have artwork on screen, not when it's just your face bitrate. Got you. Understood. Okay, video is good now. That might have helped. Excellent. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. What was the epiphany? I don't even want to tell you guys because it's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing and vaguely depressing. So if it's gotten better, just let me know, and then I'll share it with you guys. If I get some ones in the chat and you guys tell me that it's gotten better, I'll share my humiliation with you. Because, that's a big part of what we do here at Shanth Enjeti Art. Move this closer. Sorry for all of the earthquakes and things like that. Cup of tea, there you go. Antoine Descent, haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, I didn't get me complaints from a professor. Let me know. Well, that looks amazing. Thank you, Sleeping Psychopathy. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, hopefully it gets a little bit better. Yeah, Mrs. Enjeti is a saint, and she has my back. So yeah, this is going to be for the Oxidized, the second edition of Nosfero. It's going to be exclusive to the second edition. There's also the art edition. The link is available below, but this painting is going to be something I really want to give people with every single Nosfero edition of Book 1. And by the way, guys, I have a feeling that people are going to... I'm so torn on what I want to do with this, but when I launch Nosfero Death Will Die, I like the idea of there being this very limited, unintentionally limited second edition of the book that's out in the world, not to mention the art edition. So if you're the kind of person who is not adverse to, and you have the resources, if you're not adverse to flipping books that people miss out on, this might be the time to do it. Because the art edition, I think people are going to really go, oh man, when did that come out? And it's going to be like, well, it kind of came out on the Second Chance campaign. So I like that idea. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do things with the art edition completely. But just in terms of the print run and everything like that. But we print to order. We don't have the resources to print more than to order on these things. And we don't have the space. As you guys know, a huge thing for shipping Nosfero, excuse me, the first book out, was that we didn't have the room in our house. It was just insane. You know, so I had to like bring boxes and packages in when I had the space for it. It's nuts. Let me see. Okay, is it better? Let me see. Rocky Ballesteros, emo needs prayers. Yes. Rocky, no stream overlap. I don't want to miss it. I'm currently finding. Oh gosh, I missed so much stuff here. Hang on a second here. The camera was set to poor resolution. No, you wish. No, I wish. Um, yeah. The non-exciting life of Shanth. So here's the thing. Here's what was going on. So the art edition is the book with no words, with no type. So let me do this actually real quick while people are here. It'll explain it better. I'm going to play, if I can find it. Where is it? I'm going to play the trailer for Nosfero, and it's going to show you guys the two editions. So when you see the page flips, the art edition has no words on it, and the second edition has the story. And you can get both of them in a back both tier. So here you go. So there you guys go. So here was the problem I was having with my stream that I believe I caught. Random McGranderson, so pixely though, dang it. I ordered an art edition with interior sketch. Oh, I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing that sketch for you, my friend. Yeah, I don't know. It could be something going on with Wi-Fi going to our house, and I'm so sorry about that, guys. I wish I had that to toggle off on my talent. You guys are so funny. Oh, but I'm going to do a killer job on that. Let me see here. Honey, what's my passcode? Yeah, Mrs. Enjetti has all the passcodes. She absolutely does. Let's see here. I only ever used Adobe Background High School. Yes. Oh, yeah, Adobe, the Adobe suite. Back to 8-bit, Sean. Dadgummit. Dadgummit. I don't know why it's back to 8. That's really, or why it's back to low res now. That doesn't make any sense. It was doing better for a little bit. So let me see here. Yes, the Wi-Fi is a very odd thing. We don't really have a good reason for that to be the case because the little people of Stonehenge have gone off. So, I didn't say it was their... Look, did you hear her defending them? You know? It was never their fault in the first place. I was trying to educate them with great South Asian guilt. I don't... How are they ever going to grow up? Oh my god. Oh Lord. But yeah, I mean it's always hit or miss. I think I need to just restart the router at some point, but I want to make sure I get this, painting in front of you guys so you guys can see it. But I mean that's for me. Yeah, I live in a storage shed. I absolutely do. I live in a well inside of a house somewhere. Let me see here. Hello, awesome one, says Rocky Ballesteros. My brother, my man. I pin art prints up at work, and I want some Shanth Enjetis, please. There you go. And thank you. Yeah, when you back any of these books, you're going to get some 8.5 by 11 prints. I'm sorry, not 8.5 by 11. 8. Yeah, 8.5 by 11 prints. Sorry, I thought I said 11 by 17 for a second. And of course, there are large editions of my artwork available with both the Battle Brick Road 2 campaign. If you buy that 11 by 17 print book, you're going to have one of my paintings. If you back the puzzle for Mike's book, you're going to get a giant printout of this thing as a puzzle. And it's craziness, man. There's so many cool things out there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to. What's up, channel member Awesome One? It is great to see you. Been watching Jason Plays Fishing in No Man's Sky this whole tour, not knowing you were on. Oh, this whole time, I gotcha. This whole hour. Sorry, I thought you said tour. I believe you did not catch it. I did not catch. I'm missing something here. Every wife, girlfriend automatically has all your passwords. A word to the wise is sufficient, gentlemen. That's right. That's right. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. So let me see. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, I have prints, but I don't have posters yet. They're a pain to ship, And I might do that at some point. I might figure out a way to do it, and I have a feeling it will happen. But yeah, I need to because the stuff is very very fit for prints. People want to see it and see the stuff large, which is why I think the art edition is something people have been excited about, is because they just want to be able to sit down with the art too. There's a lot of the hardest thing about Nosfero, and I got some really great uh, input on one of the streams I was on, is that I love the story of the book. The story is incredibly important to me. And because I was promoting the art edition, I haven't talked about the story as much, which is why I started doing those inside the story videos. Because the whole reason for painting this many paintings and putting it together in a book is because you have to have a story that you think is important enough and is worthy of all of the hard work that you're going to put in on that. And the story of Nosfero to me is something that I felt I wanted to put out there. I wanted it to be a story about hope and people in difficult times finding each other, persevering, and I wanted it to have, a happy, positive, life affirming ending of a story while still being in the horror genre. I know I've talked about Halloween a lot today, and it's because it's very much on my mind. My wife wonderfully threw me a Halloween birthday party, which I loved, or a birthday party being me and her and our daughter. But that's a social occasion for me. Um, but it's really true, is that when I see people going through haunted houses, and I saw that when I was a kid as well in Chattanooga, and I see people doing things like that, the joy on their faces of knowing they're going to come out the other side of this thing okay. There's going to be thrills and chills, and then there's going to be the conversation on the ride home about what a fun time we had. That's what, to me, I want to make for books. That's the important stuff, and that is what makes it all so fun. Uh-oh, we get there he is. Lone Shot's in the chat. Lone Shot, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Someone is downloading Linux ISO in the background. You're probably right. Yeah, it's oh my stars. Everybody is saying hello. Everybody's saluting. Yeah, Jason is a laid back dude that plays games. He's a fun dude. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's I always thought that it was incredible to me how Bob Ross was always so positive when he was working, and it's not that he didn't have, you know, things in his life that were difficult and a lot of stuff he was managing. He did. He had all of that stuff, but he always created this really incredible space for, at least for me and a lot of folks in my generation, to kind of come in and have this sort of magical experience. And comics also did that for me. Comics were a big part of that for me. And so what I like to do when I'm working is try to make, this experience of both seeing the comic come together. Oh, that actually looks a little bit better. I'm just adjusting the focus. There we go. That's a little bit better. But it makes it so much more fun. It's good to see you, my friend. Yes, indeed. Poster campaign. I think, what's interesting? Maybe we'll do some posters for Death. I think it's actually might be a really good idea. Do some kind of posters or books for Nosfero Death Will Die and make those available. That could be really fun to do. See, a lot of these ideas I get from you guys when we're hanging out talking and people are saying, oh, hey, you know what would be cool? I mean, a big reason why Greylock became the father figure that he became in the book was because a lot of folks, a lot of dads out there were saying, I feel very frustrated with, art right now because there aren't any positive portrayals of father figures. And is there going to be one in Nosfero? And I thought, oh my gosh, what could I do? Where would there be room to even put in a father figure? And I thought, I've got this werewolf character that's perfect for it. And as a result of that change, I repainted several pages and reworked the story because I thought that's important. You guys are right. Let me see here. I think all of Bob Ross's paintings are boring, but watching him paint is great for learning how to use your tools. Yeah, you know what's so funny about Bob Ross is it was it's, how do I word it? He gave people something awesome, even if they didn't paint. Like he just went into this very zen space, and I still don't fully understand it. Except for that one kid, Bobby, that never made it home. Oh yeah, that is terrifying. One shot continues to rage. Like a rented mule into internet glory. That's 100% right. You guys are killing me. Hail Woden shot. Um, God, there's a lot of love in the chat for you, my brother. There's a lot of love for you in the chat. Um, it's yeah, it's a strange kind of thing because there's we talk about this all the time because I know we've got a lot of artists and art connoisseurs who hang out here in addition to just hardcore comic fanatics. But there's something very human and that we connect with in special, practical makeup effects or animatronics. There's something that we connect to in the cartoonist aspect of comics, where things are not about them being totally perfect or accurate, but they're playful and they have energy to them. Jack Kirby, and gosh, I just think of so many, even people like Dave Stevens, where you look at their stuff and it's got this life to it that is essential for comics, and I don't know what that is. It's the secret sauce. It's the ingredient. Even when people can spot that kind of thing in the work that I do, I don't know where that necessarily comes from. I know how hard I practice and I know how disciplined I am with improving my work, but that's the magic part that's still a little bit of a mystery, And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Glasses here. Oh, there we go. I watched Nerdrotic with 10K watching at noon. Then side scrollers. Gosh, I totally missed this. Then side scrollers ripping on Concord. That was fun. There you go. Sorry, it took me a second to read all those words. Wait, I'm not here to hear people drag down the man's happy little trees. That's hard times with Jay Ryan. No, nobody is understood. Yeah, understood. It's craziness because he's still crushing it on YouTube too from the afterlife. So, what a legend. And I know a lot of you guys will know what I mean when I talk about folks like George Bridgman and Howard Pyle and Frank Frazetta. Um, and for me, the thing that I always try to capture when I'm painting Nosfero is this very particular kind of sort of muscular, stocky sort of guy with really squared off muscles, and Bridgman and those guys really knew how to draw it so that it almost looked like you took the average person's, arm, right? And then you just smashed it in. So it was just like it looked like it could be, a support for a bridge. It was just crazy. And I love that stuff, man. Yeah, that's right. Muscles must be torn down in order to become stronger. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Cranberry Landers hanging out. He gave people an eye for how to see things, nature, and replicate it on its canvas. And you know what's so funny is it really does affect you when you see artwork. You look around to see life a little differently. You notice things more, and I think there's that art of noticing. Uh, I would like a poster of the family portrait of Greylock and Nosfero. I'm practically making that right now. Funny enough, that's what this painting is. It's almost like a family portrait. Yeah, they had a particular painting approach to anatomy. Yeah, they did. They did. You know what's a really influential work to me that I haven't ever seen a great reproduction of is Norman Rockwell in the famous illustrators course or whatever. They had a bunch of artists do their own illustration for Samson, um, and from the Bible, and he did this painting that is almost like a Bridgman painting of Samson pushing the pillars apart, and it's outstanding. And that's I love the anatomy in that. I think that it captures the power, the force of what's going on. And that's why when in book one that Nosfero escapes, I was really thinking about him being, between these two pillars and being very much like Samson. And I think of that painting all the time. Yeah, really. I mean, you got to go for it. You got to get some really great, powerful art as your inspiration. If you want to make stuff that's powerful, you got to look at the best. And so I'm always studying people who were masterful at getting that power, that energy, that work into their stuff. Saying hello to Rocky Ballesteros. Canceled Concord before he got the Dustborn and Arcane crossover DLC. Look at you guys. My God, I feel like you're speaking a different language. I have to get back to work now, but hi, everybody. Hi to you and have a wonderful day at work, Cranberry Landers. It's great to see you, brother. Yeah, la la la, no spoilers. Yeah, you know what's so funny? Sleeping Psychopathy. I don't know how I would even, with the exception of maybe the last page and the last couple of pages, how I would spoil this book. Yeah, God bless all, says John. Indeed, have a great day, Cranberry Landers. That's a less known painting by Rockwell. Oh, just jumped again. Alex Ross loves that piece. Really? Huh. That doesn't surprise me. It's a great piece. Simply Green. Good morning. It's great to see you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, that's a great painting. That is an absolutely epic painting. I don't know where it is. I don't know if anybody knows where it is. The original for that. It's one of those things where you're almost afraid to ask and find out. Like did somebody just, throw it in a garage somewhere, or was it lost, or but I've heard people talk about it, and the pencil drawing is breathtaking for it as well. It really is just incredibly cool, and it captures the power of the moment. But that's one of my favorite Rockwell pieces, and I wish there was a really good reproduction of it. But there doesn't seem to be because I've looked everywhere. It's such a great painting. If you've never seen it, I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, wow, this is really something else, man. This is really something else. Great painting. Yeah, Greylock and Nosfero posing like in a Kmart photo, says Art of Times of J. Ryan. Absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. That's how it goes. Man, you guys take me back with some of the stuff you drop in the chat. I'm just like going, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like, oh my god. Let me see here. Okay, so we've got this. Man, I tell you what. Still getting use. Still getting comfortable to with some days I think about it with painting on camera. It's a very strange thing to do. Um, and I just started doing it before I thought about it, and then when everybody started pointing it out, I think I started thinking about it too much. It's like, what am I doing? This is weird. Well, it's just how I work. There we go. And you can sort of see too when I'm putting in things like this. Let me move this over a little bit here. You can see too when I'm doing things like this, I'm really trying to keep, the blockiness and the angles, because when in doubt, angle it out is a very good rule for anatomy, and it's a really good rule for painting in general, because light moves in angles, and so we read form in terms of angles, which is why if you see a cartooning drawing or a line drawing that doesn't have enough angles in it, it it just doesn't feel right. So some of the people that you look at who you think do, um, the most kind of organic and curvy stuff, if you watch them draw and you watch them compose, the thing you're going to see is them putting in a ton of angles, a ton of very strong angles in their work. Yeah. And this is really how I work. Someone was asking me on one of the streams, I can't remember, maybe it was on a stream the other night, how much I pencil when I work. And you guys know, if you follow this channel, I scribble it out. I get a basic sense of what it is. I do a layout sketch or a thumbnail sketch at some point, depending on. But I pretty much just attack the board and sort it, because there's you. Otherwise, I feel like I don't get enough life in my work if it's got too many stages in it. And so I try not to draw things twice. Render it in pencil, then render it in paint. I want to really kind of find it in the paint so that it has the necessary power, and I think that's important. Um, stick, and only the stick. There you go. Look at that. You guys are tough. Concord's Rise and Epic Fall is to me to be studied 8 years of development, but it only took 7 days to pull down because of how horrendous the wokeness was. Oh dear. That's tragic. That makes me feel sad. Yeah, killed the game less than 2 weeks after it came out, and full refunds for everyone. That hurts to even. I feel like I'm nauseous about this, and I don't even know what it is. 8 years, 11,700,000. Oh, guys, this is a nightmare. Is this for Halloween? You guys are doing that? Man, that painted sketch. Dang it, stupid inflation and grown. Yes, I know, and grown up stuff. I understand, man. Well, you never know. There's. I hate to be. Well, actually, I don't. Let's be honest. Um, let me be positive for a minute in white pill, because I don't really care for the black pill that much. It doesn't do it for me. Um, I think that when things are turning around, sometimes it's hard to see. But I really do have faith that things are going to move in a better direction, and they're going to move in a better direction because they need to. That people are noticing that they need to. And it's my sincere hope that everybody, myself included, is has brighter days ahead, because I think that there's a certain amount of decadence involved in nihilism and being in a nihilistic state of mind. And there's a lot of folks who are supposed to be giving us aspirational entertainment, aspirational ideas, giving us something to strive for, who have been using for far too long the scare tactics to try to motivate us. And the problem with using scare tactics to motivate people, people know this in boxing, they know this with coaches, they know this um with so many different things, is you can't be in a situation where you do that, you know, indefinitely. You can't indefinitely do that. You can't, what is it? The beings will continue until morale improves, that kind of attitude. You can't do that for very long. It doesn't work. People tune out. I mean, outrage as a way of doing things. I'll never forget, for whatever one thinks about those, talk show hosts, you had Phil Donahue for a while, who was a really big, talk show host. Then you had Oprah Winfrey. But for a while, you had, as the number one talk show host, you had Jerry Springer. And people were just like, what does this say about American culture that everyone's watching Jerry Springer and everybody's doing this? And he started out actually trying to do the Donahue Oprah thing, and then because of a series of successes with it being a total train wreck, they started to manufacture having a train wreck every episode. And then it became a joke. But once it descended into farce, people just tuned out. So he had very high highs, and everybody's like, "Well, should everybody be doing this? What should we do? We should all be, have people getting hit by chairs and da 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 da." And then you get to a certain point where people go, "I'm out. I'm done," and it goes from this very very high situation to this very very low situation for demand. And I always think it's so important, to kind of cultivate that stuff, to cultivate not just vapid positivity, because you could see the same thing on the other side. With a monsoon of respect, I watch my share of this stuff, of certain stuff, but I don't know if you guys see those, well, I feel like I'm saying something so ridiculous. I was once teaching, um, and I said, um, what did I say? It was something really embarrassing. I said, I don't know. Do you guys have phones on your cameras? Or sorry, phones on your cameras on your phones. My God. Do you have cameras on your phones? And it was well into the time to where it was just, of course we do. And they all started laughing. And for me, I feel that way about, this is the greatest time I've ever had thumbnails on YouTube. And this is a disaster. This is the end of the world. And I just see that stuff, and I understand that it's an essential part of for people who are very targeted on doing that kind of thing. But as an audience member, not as a I don't they probably know way more about YouTube than I do. But as an audience member, I see that stuff and I'm like, don't recommend this channel. I'm out. Like, unless I know the channel, I think the person's being, funny or kind of ironic about it, but I'm just going, this can't be the best thing you've ever had. You said that last video, the video before, the video after that. This can't be the worst thing ever. You said that before. You said it's weird, man. I will fill you there. Oh dear God, I don't know what I just read. Let's be honest. Switch the character designs out. Just replace 3D models, and you have something. There you go. Yep. Always look on the bright side of life. 100%. Yeah, that's a lot of money to tank yet to be seen. And yeah, I mean they don't seem to care. It's scary. Yeah. Nah, everyone loves drama. It appeals to the lowest common denominator, and there's a lot of them. Well, sure. I don't even doubt that. I guess the thing I was thinking was that people can get that anywhere. So while different people may be successful from it for a certain time, you can't maintain your individual success with it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that newspapers can't do stories where if it bleeds, it leads. But individual reporters who always are trying to paint the same picture all the time, the audience catches on, and it's a really strange thing. Like I said, I'm not saying like I understand it on any ginormous level, but you see folks who are really into a thing and genuinely positive, like Bob Ross, and then you see people who aren't into a thing, and you can spot it. Who's another person? Oh gosh, yeah, the Grim Life Collective. You know, they're a group of people who do videos, and they were doing it broke out of their car, and now it's become this whole industry, the kind of the horror scary location YouTubers. But they never were faking it from the beginning, so they have a relatively easy time. And it's the same thing with Townsend's. It's the same thing with the Y Files. I know I talk about that channel a lot, but I'm really impressed by that channel. Really impressed by that channel, and the way the guy talks to people in the chat. He deals with his share of BS and all of that, but he seems like he's got really good people around him and is very organized. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know how the best YouTube stuff I watch, I don't know what you would fit it into. It's not easy to categorize. And that goes for Comicsgate stuff. I don't know how you would categorize some of our shows, you know? It's wild. We kind of just get to do our own thing and figure out what that is. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making this guy even stockier, I think, is where I want to go. Let me see here. Yeah, they've been around forever. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, they don't disappear. Absolutely, just like the National Enquirer or any of it. I kind of think Jerry Springer did though. So yeah, I know. Didn't he pass away recently? Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. Do all the other drama people. There's not much difference between that and Dr. Phil. Oh, absolutely. Or a million other similar shows. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like those turn of the century flyers against electricity, showing people that and horses electrocuted in the streets. Yes. Hey, comrade Sammy, it's great to see you. You guys are cracking me up. I come to the chat and I read stuff and I go, wait, what? If you miss 3 seconds of a chat, man, it's moved on. It's gone places. There we go. Let me get that strength in some of the angles. I'm gonna soften that stuff up a little bit, but it's almost better sometimes when you're painting to overstate an angle or overstate a form than understate it and then have nothing to hang, your other lines off of. And that's a really big thing. So here's an example too of something I was thinking about. So I'm looking at I went to a theme park recently. I went to Universal Studios and the Islands of Adventure theme parks in Orlando recently. And I realized that there's a point at which I'm oversaturated visually. Like if you've got too many lights on too many things and too many things are going on, you almost can't take it. It's just too much. And it's like a design thing. And it's the same thing with stories. And again, I don't really have an answer for what, because I don't do that kind of work and those guys are really brilliant. But the best people seem to know what that limit is and give you just enough. I know some of you guys cook and are really good at it, unlike myself, but I think about that with cooking too. When you go to a restaurant and it's not like they're all the same, but some restaurants, they know like the right amount of spice for their folks and the right amount of portion and the right amount of mixture. And when they do it so great, you almost take it for granted. If, you're not like us probably, but man, when someone does it, it's incredible. To me, art and story and all of it are the same thing. Sometimes I don't want dialogue in a scene. Sometimes I want a little bit of silence, and I think that's what's so fun. Oh, I couldn't agree more, and I hope this is I hope it's an enjoyable process for you to watch this, Michael Dicha, and thank you so much for all your support you always give and for positivity too as well, because I need it as much as the next guy. They have removed the critics, the game testers, and focus groups because critique hurts people's feelings. Yeah. Also, it's weird. It helps their bottom line and hurts their feelings. It's very strange how that works. But I was marveling at there's this uh, guy on Twitter. I think I could stop there and it would be the funniest thing. There's this guy on Twitter, but there's this gentleman on Twitter who called, and I think his X handle is BioReconstruct. And what he does is he flies drones around and he looks at Epic Universe as it's being built. And he goes by BioReconstruct. Now, I am fascinated, though I would never want to work in that field because it is unbelievably complicated and I'm not smart enough. Let me just say I could never work in that field. But he flies around or flies a drone around and takes a look at various where the hell did I even put this window? Takes a look at various stages of development of these things. And so let me see if I can make this happen, if this will show up. Oh, cool. I got it to work. So these are some of the aerial photos. Let me get rid of the sidebar so it's bigger. These are some of the aerial photos of the monster universe, dark universe scenery. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about like some of the ride things and all that stuff, but the folks who do this kind of landscaping work to make things into these gothic landscapes, they amaze me. In a lot of ways, I feel like it's like theme park design and video game design seem like they have a lot in common to me. The environment design. I don't know if that's true. Video game people, can let me know in the chat. But there's a ritual quality to video games. Back when I was teaching college, I had this theory I used to talk about that there's two different kinds of storytelling models. There's narrative storytelling, and there's ritual model storytelling. And because I would say I don't think video games have narrative storytelling, and people would freak out. And I said, but they do have storytelling. And I say the best video games have emphasized the ritual storytelling, which is to say they're so environment centric, and they can't write you. They can write a character you play or characters you run into, but they can't in an ideal game. They don't tell you who you are. You bring some of your individuality to it. So it's really about the environments and the other characters and the people that you meet that give you this fulfillment that no narrative version of storytelling with a central character can give you. It's a unique art form in a lot of ways. Like, how do I put it? If I went to go to some Harry Potter land at a theme park and someone said, okay, Shanth, you have to be Harry Potter now and you have to play the character. I'm like, well, can I just experience this? Do you have to tell me who I am, what I have to think? Like, I like to pick. I like the idea of that. But it seems to me there's just so much more potential there, But look at this work that these brilliant people do. Fake stonework, aging things, planting trees. I mean, think of all of the people who come together, skilled craftspeople of so many different disciplines, coming together to make things work. Electricians, people working on, air conditioning in these buildings. You guys know, a lot of you guys know and have worked in this stuff or do work in this stuff. But it all is important. If there's not good drainage, if you plant a bunch of trees and, they're not going to be able to grow there, it's not going to work. So they have to be working in concert, a lot of really brilliant people, to take this idea someone has in the head and then really game it out and see how it's going to work. Take a look at this old little village they're making by the entrance, by the way. Look at that. That's, to me, that's remarkable. It's such a remarkable feat what they're doing there. They're making something look like it's in another part of the world and it's aging. That's how I want my backgrounds to look in Nosfero. In fact, that's, if you look at your copy of Nosfero, if you have it, and if you haven't gotten one, do go and back the book, particularly the art edition if you've already got it. You'll see there's a lot of attention to the kind of detailed stonework in movies and Universal, old horror movies, and this kind of stuff in theme parks, but also video games do it incredibly well. They do great environments. I have a lot of former students who are big time creators in video games. So, but look at how breathtaking this stuff is. I mean, I love doing things like that with stone color. I want to see if I can find, I'm sure I have it here somewhere. I want to see a non-spoiler page where I show that kind of thing. I don't know if I have one. Oh, that's kind of a decent one. It's not as good as I'd like it to be, but let me see if I can switch back to, where is it? There we go. Let me switch back to camera mode. Here we go. And things like just doing, if it'll focus. I'm going to put this on turn off manual focus for a second. There we go. Just because it's good for some things, not good for other things. There you go. But just being able to get those different little color notes in texture, I love doing stuff like that, and I love kind of making that, that sort of giving it that life with the texture, just little things like let me see if I can find what I mean. I mean, this is a kind of an example of it, but just the way that I have like light hitting right there on the stonework going up the stairs, and then on the other side the stonework gets a little bit more detailed and has that quality to it. I'm always looking at that stuff, and it's always inspiring me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Las Vegas casinos specialize in sensory overload, and free booze get you in the altered state and off your rational center. 100%. Yeah, Mr. Bones' wild ride never ends. Yes, indeed. But it's, you guys know what I mean when you see stuff like this, and for me, it puts me in this really cool gothic sort of place, and they have just these are some of the best people in the biz working on these rides and aging rooftops. That's going to be a windmill that bursts into flames every so often. So they're really calling back to a lot of the early Universal movies, without which I don't know where I would be in terms of as an artist and inspiration. But you can look over here. Look at how small this guy is. But when you're walking into the park, they have all these tombstones, and they even have coffins that I think you can pose and get into for photographs. To me, that's thinking about the audience. And so that's the stuff that I'm the most excited about when I see these things. And so I'm always thinking about when you guys open up one of my books, it's having that title that was designed by hand, and then having that, the logo that's also got this kind of handcrafted aspect to it, and then having, the special thanks section, and then, the opposing page having this artwork, and the special thanks section having it be faded but still dark, the intro to the book by my incredible wife, and then you go into this world and you've got, the amazing lettering by Eric Weathers, and the story and the linguistics of it all, and the scope and the epic nature of the creatures and all of that design. For me, that's what I love about it. And I'm excited for people who have been curious about, having this without any type on it, just the artwork. It is available right now, guys, and I'm excited for you guys to get it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, decorational coffins. That's right. Yeah, no, isn't that wild? Excuse me. Um, Theme parks are also spaces heavily designed around human navigation, so the layouts can be useful for game design. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the hub. Yes, hub worlds. You see, you guys know. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? It's great to see you, my friend. Yeah, Stephen Rockwood saying back in Nosfero right there. Thank you so much for putting the link. Back Nosfero, Second Chance campaign and art edition. Mechanoid says repetitive, and dang it, I'm missing something here. I skipped the first part of it. I did that too. Even the thumbnails of the Doom merchants have such a repetitive negative effect. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Let me just see. One of my favorite game series ever is Roller Coaster Tycoon. I've heard that from so many people. Build your own theme parks, build your own, design your own roller coasters. Yeah, it's funny. Universal gate kept me with those butter beers. That's right, they do, man. But yeah, isn't it crazy, my wife said, "What is up, J-Bot? How are you doing?" Mighty Bot Studios. What's up, Sean? Pumped for the second chance at Nosfero. I am so glad, guys. The link's in the description. Back away. It's going to be a beautiful book. And my wife and I, when we were down at Universal, the thing that was so fun about it was at some point she looked around and she goes, "What do you think it's like to have created something like this that people are just physically sitting in? Like, you started out trying to write something and then it turned into this massive thing. That just must be the most bizarre experience." I was like, I can't even imagine how wild it is. It's the same thing with the Universal monsters. When Boris Karloff was getting made up as Frankenstein, I bet he never imagined his likeness would be everywhere and he would be the definitive version of the Frankenstein monster, for the next century. It's crazy. And we're almost there, 1931. So when we hit 2031, it will be 100 years since those incarnations of Dracula and Frankenstein. Just incredible. Really incredible stuff. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be such a blast. I cannot wait for you guys to see the new bonus features that are in the oxidized edition. The second printing of the book. There's the art edition and the second printing, but the second printing has the pinup I did for John Malin's Visions book for Godlike, and I did show that on a previous stream. I think it's over here somewhere. There it is. I did show that on a previous stream, but for those of you guys who haven't seen it, this is going to be a double page spread in the back of the second edition of the book. So this crazy detailed gothic fantasy painting that I did for that book is going to be a big part of, 2-page spread of the Nosfero oxidized edition. So it's going to, this painting was not, sort of done at the time of the book. It was done outside of it. And I didn't want to have it, excuse me, I didn't want to have it printed until John had it printed in his Visions book. But that's going to be available for you guys to have in a, in a book in the second edition of the book. So the edition that has the type in it, that's called the oxidized edition. The art edition is going to have a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. But the second edition of the book, that's the $25 tier, that's the lowest tier, that's going to have the some behind the scenes imagery for Nosfero Death Will Die. So I've decided I'm going to make that book much more focused on the future of where everything is going. Because I don't know. I want every book to be, every edition of the books to just have something special about it. So that it's not just a reprint. And this is the way I've kind of decided to go with that. I really do love these characters. I'm sure you can imagine that, but I really do love these characters. Can't overstate that. What's up, Rock Crin? I'm playing Dark Souls 2, and its architecture is amazing. I think architectural design and background design is one of my favorite things to look at as an artist. That was the idea I lightly covered when doing architecture in school. Games have this kind of odd thing where you decide on scales keeping in mind both reality and game limitations. You're right. You're absolutely right, guys. By saying hello, hello. When you create it, you understand it more than everyone who walks around marveling at it 100%. You can never experience it like them. I know. So true. You know everything you love and everything you hate about it. I know that one well. I know that one. Yeah, the dream made well. Or made real, I mean. God dang, I can't read today. Let's see here. Those old aesthetics are built up in our psyche over time. If your art can tap into that, you have an instant world building in the minds of the consumer. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Um, it's a strange thing, you know. It's a very strange thing. Cool stuff happening, guys. Best parts of creating anything, yeah, seeing other people's. Yep, you bet. God, I am so far behind, aren't I? But it's one of the best things in the world for me. Is that what? That's why I like to pack every single book, and why I enjoyed it so much during fulfillment and still enjoy it. Is that I like the idea of thinking about people opening up the book and being excited to get the book, and knowing that there's a personal touch to it, knowing that without you guys, this goes away. Like I cannot do this without you guys' support and ongoing support for that matter. And thank you for that, guys. All of you guys who are channel members, all of you guys who have backed this campaign already, you guys are amazing. And for those of you guys who are first-time backers on this campaign, I appreciate all of you, and thank you for your support, for your time. And I love doing this stuff, and I'll do it until till I can't. That's how that works. There we go. Figure out how I get, Laurel into this sketch that I'm doing, or where I'm sketching it out. Let's see here. Dark Souls has amazing level design. Some of those areas felt like they were built and then they figured out how the player would get around. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, the awkward co-op gaming experience. Yeah. It's oh, thank you, Mark. Shanth, I'm super excited about the 2 art books. Get the remaining copies, people. Yeah. Though that is going to be the missus even asked me about that. She's like, is Mark backed? I'm so excited to get him his books. And I'm like, yep, he is backed. And that is going to be a fun one to put together, man. I cannot wait for you to get those books. It's going to be great, man. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, I mean, it's like the whole reason we sit in our rooms and at our desks doing this stuff, and sort of the solitary nature of it. It all becomes worth it when you're shipping that stuff out there to people, and you're getting to share it with them for the first time. That's why I'm enjoying getting to talk about story and things like that. Let me see here. Oh my gosh, what the heck just happened? David D was gifted a membership by Random. What are you doing, Random McRanderson? Mr. Mustard was gifted a membership. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce. Yarek, I hope I pronounced that right, was gifted a membership. by Random McRanderson. The Photo Viper was gifted a membership. My gosh, sorry, I left to watch Shane for a few minutes. That's allowed. Is Shane streaming? Oh, that's awesome. Woo, more memberships. Look at you guys go. Where's Random? Where are you? Random McRanderson gifted 5 Shanth Enjeti Art memberships. Thank you so much, my friend. I gotta send some cheerleaders your way, and I mean some. Here you go, brother.
Charge!
And once more.
Charge!
Welcome to all of our new members. It's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you to Random McRanderson, a gentleman and a scholar and an OG supporter. God bless you, man. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Like Cage the Elephant song goes, don't let me hit the ground till I hit the ground. Amen. Yeah, ain't no rest for the wicked. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's such a cool thing when you're making this kind of stuff. And thank you again, Random McRanderson. That is a much appreciated, man. I just, you guys, you guys know, I am always surprised, amazed, and grateful for all of the support you guys give. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Um, it's yeah, I, you guys got me at a loss. Bless you. It's very cool, uh, to actually find the folks that you want to have the best conversations with. And that's what you guys are to me. You know, the people who care about all of the amazingly fun stuff that we get to make in this space. I cannot think of anything more exciting and that I'm more grateful for than you guys and your support, and also your enthusiasm for all of this stuff that we get to talk about and that we love sharing, man. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. There we go. Just kind of roughing things in right there. So yeah, this is the start to the exclusive to the Oxidized Edition front piece. It's going to be in that book. You guys are all watching it start right here, man. Yeah, the creepy old man sitting at the booth kills me. Yeah, I love that one. Isn't that great? Yeah, I gotta have a Twilight Zone there. Let me see here. Let me click on this. To be completely honest, the solitary nature can be a huge boon. Yeah, all the work I do professionally is with teams, sometimes large teams, and shoot, it jumped. Hang on a second. Sometimes large teams and you end up spending all your time managing people. Yes, sometimes with large teams you spend all your time managing people. That, you know what, Random? That is a very, very good point, man. That is a very good point. Yeah, and thank you, my friend, for all of that, all of your support and your insight. Well, Rocky is live. I'm going to jump over there, and I was just about to say, guys, we are at 2 hours. I'm going to wrap things up. Do me a favor, guys. Everybody, put the link to Rocky's stream in the chat if you have it, and everybody head on over there. I have yet to figure out how to do the all of that stuff. But I will see you guys, later. And I want to say for all of you guys here who are checking out this stream, from the heart of Lovecraft country and the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is Shanth Enjeti. This is Shanth Enjeti Art, and you guys have been a pleasure to hang out with. This is Nosfero the Crypt Walker. The campaign is live right now. The link is in the description. If you haven't backed it yet, I would appreciate your support. If there's something else you want to back in the campaign that you haven't yet, I would appreciate your continued support. And if you're a channel member, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're going to see your names in this credits coming up right now. And as I always like to say at the end of a stream, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you. I appreciate you guys. All these streams, and I still can't get past how easy Shanth makes strike me. Thank you so much, Curses and Circles. Enable raids in the back end. Yeah, I've got to figure that out. Yes, check out Rocky's stream. It's right here, guys. Blow his mind. Everybody go on over there. He is my brother. He was a groomsman at my wedding. I've known him for 30 years, and he talks comics, particularly on Wednesdays. He has a Wednesday comic stream. So yeah, he's somebody I know from outside of Comicsgate and everywhere else, and I kind of nudged him into streaming because he loves comics, he loves art, and he's my brother. And like I said, he's one of my oldest friends. I've known him for 30 years. I've known him longer than I've known my wife. So he's just a terrific dude. So go on over there if you need some more positivity and to see a great friend of mine doing his thing. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much, Timmy Mello. Thank you, guys. You're awesome. Au revoir. Take care. I will see you very soon. Yeah, guys, going over there. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out raids. I've got to figure that out. And how to do all that stuff. But ciao, indeed. Thank you, Cranberry Landers, Antoine Dennison. Thank you so much. I take care, guys. And here, right now, here are the credits. And thank you guys for backing. And I'm gonna go get something to eat. So have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. All right, bye.